Live from the Sands Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's theCUBE at AWS Re Invent 2014. Brought to you by headline sponsors Amazon and Trend Micro.
Okay, welcome back everyone. We are live here in Las Vegas for Amazon Web Services, AWS Re Invent, their conference that's changing the world. It's all about the cloud. Amazon is just absolutely doing great. I'm John Furrier, the founder of SiliconANGLE, and I'm here with special guest Jerry Chen, who's a general partner at Greylock Partners, venture capital firm. Tier one, some people say, tier one, looking at all the hot deals. So, you know, great firm, great bunch of guys over there. Jerry Chen, the new minted partner over there. Welcome back to theCUBE.
Thanks, John, always a pleasure to be here.
I love when people say tier one, tier two VC. It's just, I roll my eyes on that. It's like, come on. Who's keeping track of what a tier is? You know, you're either good or you're not. Certain deals are...
Inspired by storage. There's tier one storage, tier two storage.
I just want SSDs. I want an SSD VC. You know, low latency, high
fast.
Power, fast, you know, really awesome. Good for transactions, great for cost per venture. Seriously, welcome back.
Thanks, it's great. Hey, congratulations to theCUBE. All these years I've been working with you from my previous life to now. It's amazing what you guys have done. Any show that's relevant has a CUBE, you know, and it's a great sign.
Well, you know, Jerry, we love digital. We're in all the R&D, CrowdChat you're very familiar with. We love digital. We got our eyes on this digital transformation, and it's a lot like Amazon, right? This whole world's changing, and what's really exciting is a new guard of companies. New brands are emerging. Docker is one that you've invested in, your first investment. You know, we joked last year here on theCUBE, Jerry, when are you going to, you know, get going, pop one out? Your first, and you know,
Thank you.
Not bad.
Thank you. Well, it's so early for both Docker, the company, the open source ecosystem. I think Ben Golub said it's 18 months old, right? And I invested about a year ago, right after I saw you, and the past year has just been incredible, both from the, not only the development of the open source community, but the past year, you've been at all these shows, Red Hat, IBM, VMware, Microsoft, Amazon, pretty much every single cloud provider is embracing Docker and making Docker the de facto element of the cloud. And so, I mean, I think everyone here in this conference and myself am very bullish of what this could become. And so, I'm happy to be part of the ride and watch Solomon and Ben just drive.
It's great to see you, young gun in the VC community. I mean, not super young, but I mean, relative to the other VCs. I mean, you made that first investment, you're the lead investor in Docker, and then they raised 3 rounds in like 6 months. You know, could be a record, I don't know. But last year you made a comment to me, I think we were walking the hallways. You're like, John, what do you think? I'm like, Amazon's kicking ass, taking names, it's a tsunami. Who's going to put the seawall up? And I think your comment was, whoever can build Amazon for the enterprise will win it all. So it's interesting, that's not happening. But Docker is a unifying opportunity that brings some solidarity with the developer community.
I think what you're seeing, so a couple things have happened in the past year since we last spoke. I think I remember I said last year that Amazon was trying to be one thing for all people, and OpenStack at the time, you're asking, was trying to be all things to all people. In the past year, I think, in the public cloud space especially, Google and Microsoft Azure have made huge investments technically and marketing-wise and trying to like close that gap with AWS. We're still far ahead, but trying to close that gap. At the same time, VMware and kind of that Red Hat, the private cloud stalwarts, are trying to catch up as well. And what all those players see, Docker as that unit, like currency or transport, to say, oh my goodness, if now my application really is that portable and that delightful to use, I can reasonably have an Amazon, Google, Azure, VMware, Red Hat-based options that all work and look and feel the same. And I think Docker's kind of unlocking that value for the first time.
Yeah, and DevOps really was the indicator that, okay, dev guys don't want to be infrastructure dudes, and that was all kind of laid out there. Everyone saw that, but no one actually had anything, right? So Docker was really, not a new concept from a container standpoint, but really bringing it together and making developers, okay, all those dependencies, all those steps, all those hassles go away, and it's a rallying cry, right? So, do you expect that to like just explode more growth? The enablement side, have you looked at that? Do you guys talk about that in board meetings?
And we talk about the growth. I mean, we track all the numbers from the open source community, developer community, the partner community, and like every wave of technology, it's bigger and greater and faster than the previous one. So I think Docker is just the beneficiary of, look, years and years of container technology, from Linux containers, Lattice containers, but VMware, I think, pioneered kind of the idea of running in isolated, portable boxes, right? Virtual machines then. And then I think OpenStack kind of like led the concept, we need open source, scaled out cloud for the next generation. And then Docker's just riding on both of those pioneering efforts to say, the right way to build that next gen cloud is with Docker.
All right, so now the personal question, are you doing more deals, or are you just kind of like trying not to screw up Docker?
Look, definitely trying to let those guys run and not get too much in the way of Ben and Solomon. But yeah, so I just joined a second board of a security company with my partner Sheem Chanda. We incubated with an EIR, Michael Callahan, that you know.
Yep.
And so I'm lucky to work with him. Michael is just a world-class talent. He's a former founder, CTO of another Greylock company. And we haven't announced it publicly yet in terms of what it is, but I'm working closely with Sheem and Michael to kind of incubate this new idea.
I've been going
watch
through
that one closely.
You know he's my neighbor, so I've been going through his trash, looking for
Yes.
business plans. I'm like, where's the emails?
Well, I told Michael to throw out fake business plans, so to throw you off the scent. But
No, I have my kids go through it so I don't get caught.
Perfect.
No, I'm only kidding.
We'll be talking more about that in the near future.
Jerry, you're really a nice guy. People like you a lot. Do you find that being a VC has changed your persona a bit? I mean, you've always been kind of a smart guy, but certainly happy-go-lucky. People like working with you.
Sure.
You got to say no a lot. Entrepreneurs, people that are your friends.
Yep.
Has that changed your demeanor? Made you more tougher, more East Coast-like?
Oh goodness, well, I was born on the East Coast. I would say, look, you've known me a while, so hopefully you'll say no. I'm still the same person at core. So two things. One, even when I say no to investment, I try to be helpful, right? That every interaction is, even when we don't have a long-term investment, is still useful in that interaction. Number two, you just be honest about it and quick, right? It's like, if you're not going to invest with a company of the friend, you just say, it's not for us. And rather than like, string along people or just look for excuses, you just be a little more
versus going through that book of excuses. Oh, hey,
Correct.
Rotate,
So
excuse 117, it's early for us.
Yeah,
or not a good fit.
You just say why, you just be a little more forthright. You say,
Yeah, just say, I don't believe you guys. I don't think you can do it. Market's too small, prove me otherwise. I mean,
Anyway.
honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, it's easiest, right? It's not only the best, because it's also easier too, personally.
Yeah.
My personal experience, not everyone's the same way, and who knows, in 3 years from now, it might be very different.
Okay, so I got to ask you, Ryan was on from Storm, great investor, great guy. He had some good points. He said, developers are nervous about the PaaS layer. Now he's investing a lot in OpenStack.
Yep.
That's he's betting on. And the reason why he said Amazon's hard, because it's hard to know what the track looks like.
Yep.
So it's really difficult from a risk standpoint. OpenStack, pretty clear, enterprise play all the way, and he knows that space cold. When I asked him about Cloud Foundry and some of the PaaS stuff, he's like, it's weird in there because that's where the lock-in is. And he says he thinks it's a tough area. Do you see that same, or do you think that's a non-issue?
I wouldn't call it not lock-in. I think PaaS, things like OpenShift, Cloud Foundry, and a whole bunch of others, they're not necessarily lock-in, especially since they're open source, but they're prescriptive, right? The PaaS layers kind of tell you how you should architect your application, how you should build it, how you should scale it out, and they'll do a lot of that for you. And so what happens is, you got to trust the creators of that PaaS layer of you've architected that correctly, otherwise, you're not changing it. So if you trust how they build out those laid out the building blocks, then you're fine. So it's not, I say, lock-in, especially the open source ones or ones that aren't, but it's definitely prescriptive.
So I got to ask you, what are you looking at now for deals? What's your investment thesis right now? Obviously you got Docker keeping you busy, and it's a great first investment, and it looking good off the tee, as they say in golf.
Thanks.
Now you got to make a few more shots, make some more bets.
Sure.
What's your current investment thesis right now?
So the way I work, John, you've seen me over the years, is I have the different layers of technology. I form a hypothesis or a model of the world, and I kind of test it with talking to smart people, because I don't have all the answers. And quite frankly, I'm probably wrong most of the time. And you have to keep that humility that you're always learning. And so the couple of the models I have in different parts of the stack, on the low level part of the stack, I am continually fascinated by what's happening with low level infrastructure, hardware. Like CPU clock cycles aren't getting faster, throwing more cores, right? More cores on a motherboard, which changes like power dynamic latency. We're throwing terabytes of flash storage right next to CPU. I'm not a hardware investor, but if you think about how would you rewrite Oracle or a database for a world where that is the new hardware, that's interesting. And then the next layer up, I think a lot about event data. So what Amazon announced today, where the AWS-
The what data?
Event data, time series data.
Got it.
So what Amazon announced today with Lambda is fascinating too, about how you think about processing streams of data, right? Because pretty soon, the explosion of data is not just human-created data, machine-created data. You know, health monitors, mobile phones, et cetera. So I think that's interesting how you rethink that layer, and obviously we're investors in cloud era, which is at the forefront of trying to be the center of that data space. And then the application space, I continue to believe that different verticals will be disrupted different ways by mobile or big data, from like oil and gas to manufacturing, but also with mobile, the way you interact with your customers, with your users, changes dramatically. So the old world was web and email, right? The new world is tweets, texts, in-app notifications, in-app messaging, period. And if you think about that, the way you react, the way you interact with your customer, the data you collect on your customer from all those different signals, social or not, is tremendous. And I think the old world doesn't really think about that quite well, they don't process it in the right speed, but if you get the signals from where you're at, I'm in Vegas, I'm at theCUBE, I'm tweeting that, I'm posting that, there's an application, I can push the right message, the right market context to the user at the right time, that's tremendous. And so, low-level hardware transforms how you write application software at that level. Clearly Docker is the forefront of that. The data level, the amount of data coming through in a stream, that's going to change how we think about analytics and your applications. Then, again, this explosion around mobile is fascinating, especially around marketing apps, in my mind. So 3 areas,
awesome.
among others.
That's a great dissertation there. Awesome, we appreciate it. OpenStack, quickly,
Yep.
Where are they? Is it becoming the big guys just get moving quicker? Little bit of a bumps in the road,
Yep.
some people falling off the bus, if you will. Yeah, as it goes faster to kind of get that built out. I mean, obviously HP's going all in,
Sure,
IBM's in Cloud Foundry, and you got Mirantis and a few other players, but there's been some consolidation.
Yeah, I think you're seeing some consolidation. I mean, there've been actually some acquisitions, Eucalyptus, MetaCloud, cloud scaling, all within the past 6 months in that space. So I think what OpenStack's done really well is agreed on a lingua franca, right? The APIs, the way you talk about the cloud between all the vendors out there, it's done a great job at being that kind of way to have that conversation. So number one, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. What's been interesting to watch over the past few years is the actual instantiation of that dictionary, right? If the grammar of OpenStack has been established by the foundation and by all the major vendors, the grammar, how you talk about it, the nouns, the verbs, the syntax, the actual words and how you put together language has varied from vendor to vendor. And so I think what you're seeing now is different vendors consolidating, getting acquired, but pretty soon syntax and grammar agreed upon, vocabulary and the actual language, really bad metaphor probably.
But they got to go faster. I mean, look at Amazon, it's just a freight train, the horse is running away at Secretariat, it's boat lengths, whatever analogy you want to use, they're running away with it right now. Or you don't agree? Or do you think they're running away with it?
A year ago, I would say they're running away with it, right? I would say a year now, I'd say what Google and Microsoft have done the past year, I think they have a chance to actually be relevant players in the public cloud. I think OpenStack in the private cloud can be that language, that lingua franca. I think going faster is always better, right, in general. I mean, look at what Docker's done the past year in terms of speed. But I think by design, because of the way OpenStack's organized as a community, they're going to move at the pace they're going. And the fact they do summits every 6 months is kind of their forcing function to kind of move this thing forward. And so, by design, that's their pace.
All right, so I got to ask you a personal question as we end this segment. Are you happy with the vMafia and what they're doing now? There's a lot of VMware folks that are graduated VMware now, maturing quickly. Pat Gelsinger leading the charge there, but it's only not that old of a company. I mean, people now are popping out, venture capitalists, the companies.
Yeah, I think.
Is there like a group now?
I think it's always great to come to reInvent or VMworld or some of these other shows where you see the alumni of the vMafia. So 2 things. One, I think Pat's doing a terrific job. What he's done the past year in terms of some of the acquisitions like AirBots, et cetera, he's doing great things at VMware. So that really makes me feel great as being an alumnus. but then watching my fellow former VMware employees out there start companies, join companies, become investors, it's just a great network, and it's really nice to see your friends do other interesting things, and you had no idea they had it in them, or it's just nice to reconnect.
Jerry, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I know you're super busy in between meetings and doing deals. All the VCs are here, by the way, in Silicon Valley where I live. I'm seeing them all over the place. I've seen them have meetings, even though they might not be advertising it, they're hunting deals down here. So
sure. Good
luck with your deal hunting, and congratulations on your investment in Docker, and certainly Callahan's deal is awesome, so congratulations. Great luck, great firm in Silicon Valley. This is theCUBE, we'll be right back after this short break.
Thank you.